Maintenance. Non-combustible minerals in your pellets turn into fused ash after combustion is complete, creating hard deposits called clinkers, which form at the bottom of the fire pot. The type and consistency of your ash and clinkers will vary with the quality and type of fuel used. Cleaning the hopper. After burning approximately 50 bags of fuel or monthly, clean the hopper to prevent sawdust buildup. A combination of sawdust and pellets on the bottom end of the auger reduces the amount of fuel supply to the fire pot. This can result in nuisance shutdowns and misstarts. Allow the appliance to completely run out of pellets and cool down. Empty the hopper, then vacuum the hopper and the feed tube. Cleaning the glass. Be sure the stove is cold before cleaning the glass. To clean the glass, use a damp paper towel or any non-abrasive glass cleaner. Then use a dry towel to wipe off any streaks that may result. Never use any type of abrasive cleaner. This is a good time to inspect the door latch and window seals and ensure they are in good condition and sealed tightly. A tight seal is important for the stove to burn properly. Fire pot cleaning. We recommend that you clean the fire pot daily. A clean fire pot will ensure consistent lighting of fuel and maintain an efficient burn. Before you clean the fire pot, allow your stove to shut down and cool completely. The fire pot cleanout rod is on the right side of the stove just below the ash lip. Pull it out, push it in a few times vigorously. If the rod is hard to pull, use your fire pot cleanout tool to chip away the material that is built up on the bottom plate of the fire pot. Push out any clinkers while in the open position, then raise the rod slightly and slide it back into the closed position so none of the light color on the rod is showing. Never pull the fire pot rod when the stove is operating. Firebox cleaning. Ash can build up behind the baffles, so it's recommended that the exhaust path, baffles, and drop tube be cleaned every 25 bags of fuel or once a month. Again, starting with a cold unit, turn the thermostat all the way down and vacuum both sides of the firebox and floor and ceiling. Then remove the baffles. Remove the center baffle by using the lip at the top of the baffle. Pull up and then towards you. The hooks on the baffle will slide out of the slots in the bracket. Then remove the left and right baffles by again lifting up and pulling towards you. Thoroughly vacuum the exhaust path and drop tube and continue throughout the rest of the firebox. Vacuum the combustion blower impellers. Finally, vacuum the front and back of the baffles themselves. Reinstall the baffles in reverse order. Be careful to insert the hooks in the slots, making sure that the hooks are fully engaged in their slots. Convection blower cleaning. The convection blower is located on the floor at the back of the stove. This blower has two impellers, one on each side of the motor. They should be cleaned at least once each year. If you forget any of these maintenance instructions, don't worry. We have you covered here with our Easy Clean maintenance instructions under the hopper lid. Exhaust blower cleaning. The exhaust system will need to be inspected and cleaned at least once a year, or more often depending upon the fuel used. Turn down the thermostat and let the stove completely cool and then unplug it before servicing. Remove the right side curtain. Unplug the two white wires from the combustion blower. There is a removable plate on the exhaust blower. Depending on the model, use a 1/4-inch socket, a 1/4-inch nut driver, or a No. 2 head Phillips screwdriver to loosen the 6 screws in the keyhole shaped holes and rotate the blower plate. Remove the exhaust blower. Be careful not to bend the impeller blades as you vacuum and brush them. Check for degradation on the gasket and replace if necessary. Reinstall in reverse order. Igniter replacement. Allow the stove to shut down and cool completely before servicing. Unplug the stove and remove the ash drawer. Remove upper and lower right side panels to expose the spade connectors. The wire leads to the igniter are connected to the wire harness with 1/4 inch male and female spade connectors. Unplug the connectors, loosen the thumb screw, and slide the igniter out. Install a new igniter into the chamber and tighten the thumb screw. As you tighten down the wing nut, ensure the end of the igniter is centered in the left side of the igniter chamber. It should not be touching the side of the chamber. The wires must route through the wire retainer hook and then reconnect the wires. Double check that the igniter wires are clear of firepot cleaning rod and ash drawer. Thermocouple replacement. Set the thermostat to off. Caution. Allow the appliance to shut down and cool completely before servicing. Unplug the stove. Now remove the stove's right side and set it aside. Unplug the thermocouple wires from the wire harness. Open the glass door. Thoroughly vacuum out the firebox. Loosen the firepot bolt that holds the thermocouple clamp. Remove the ceramic thermocouple cover. Carefully remove the thermocouple from the firepot firebox area. Caution: the thermocouple wire has metal braided cover made up of very small wires. Be very careful or wear gloves when handling the braid to prevent injury. Before installing the new thermocouple, make a mark on the flat side of the braided wire cover with a marker 3 inches from the end of the thermocouple's twisted end. Slide the thermocouple wire up through the firebox opening. Then, using the thermocouple's protective cover as a guide, bend the thermocouple 90 degrees at the mark. Be careful not to overbend the thermocouple to prevent damage. Now, install the new thermocouple. Reinstall the thermocouple cover and tighten the firepot bolt. Reconnect the thermocouple wires to the wire harness. It's important for proper operation to ensure that the tip of the thermocouple wire extends to the end of the ceramic thermocouple cover during final assembly. Plug the stove in and verify thermocouple operation. For consumer technical support, dial 1-877-427-3316. And prior to calling, please have the serial number and model number of your unit you're calling about.